up, you guys? This is Rob from the Gay Guy Plays, and we are back with another installment of Veteran Stories. And today, we continue along on our journey with the greatest moments in Warframe. And the numbers finally line up. So this is part 3, and we are actually going to be talking about the third greatest moment. And in fact, it's really interesting because the threes continue. This is actually going to be 3 separate items that kind of all work synergistically. I know that sounds a little bit strange, but before we jump on in, I do want to put out a little shout out to the person in the comments that was like, thank God his contacts are gone in my previous video. Well, they're back. Thank you for reminding me, and if you guys want to know anything more about my contacts, just go ahead and jump along to my second channel, youtube.com/RobOffline. Don't diss my contacts. I love my contacts. Alright, now as you guys can probably tell in the background, I do have generic in-game footage for this one, and it's mainly because these 3 are a little bit hard to talk about. It's not something that I can capture regularly on camera, but I want to set a little bit of a mood for you, okay? I want you to picture this in the head, and I know all of the veterans out there are going to be like, I know exactly what he's talking about. So think about this. As you're done watching like a horror movie, whether it's like on Netflix or something, you're feeling kind of good. All right, the movie summed itself up. I'm gonna go grab a midnight snack, and as you walk out into the rest of your house, you notice something out of the corner of your eye. Is that a shadow? Is it a coat rack? What is that? What is that over there? And so you look over and you're like, oh, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing. Ooh, that was really strange. I thought I saw something out the corner of my eye. Now picture if that something started talking to you and started appearing every single, month, once, randomly, in your apartment. You're like, why you keep talking to me? Yes, we are talking, at least in part, of the Chains of Harrow quest Aftermath. Not the quest itself, but the aftermath. But baby, we're not done yet. Maybe chilling with your friends, and they notice like a little bump on your neck. You're like, a little bump on my neck? How long has that bump been there for? And then you get a call the next day, and they say, wait, I got a bump on my neck. All of a sudden, news on the TV is like, we all got weird ass bumps on our neck. What is happening? And in the meantime, you don't know about any cure. No one has said anything about them. You're just getting this bigger and bigger lump on your neck, and slowly a little tendril is coming out of it, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? Now picture that happening to each and every one of you and your Warframes. Happened in game, the Helminth cyst. Now, of course, for anybody who experiences that now, they know exactly what to do with it. But when the Helminth cyst moment happened, we're like, what the fuck is this? What is going on? And why is it ruining all of our fashion frame? But that's one of the more recent events that's happening. What about taking it all the way back to when you're just driving in your car, and then all of a sudden your radio starts staticking and speaking in a different language, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And everything's cool. You're like, oh, that was just one weird thing that happened. 2 months later, static comes back again, speaking that same weird ass language, and you're like, hold up, what's happening with this? Yes, it is. It all sprung forth from this one, the mysterious loading screen text. Now, I'm sure that all of us have experienced it at one point or another, and it actually reads, void link severed, reason, foreign carrier detected, origin unknown, suspicion tracking signal, retaining dipolar connection on novel carrier, bio and standby for check and sync, motion compensation complete, Selenic lensing locked, somatic control established, Margulis implantation intact, EVM status nominal, war platform awaiting sync, initializing synaptic overlay. Good night, sweet angel. And that's all written on this staticky text on your screen, and none of it makes fucking sense. Now, I know it's kind of like really like obfuscated is the right word that I want to say. But really, number 3 are the mysteries of Warframe. And I think that is something that we're absolutely missing again. We don't have any of these kind of like, I wouldn't call them like Warframe mindfucks, because there was no crazier moment than when everybody starts asking, oh, did you do Chains of Harrow? Did you see the thing that happened after Chains of Harrow? And I know that it happened again in Umbra. Unfortunately, I either missed mine or it just never triggered for me, because it was a little bit buggier, you know, when we started playing it straight out of the gate. And there's a little bit new dialogue and new text, but it was these moments that really brought the community together and just said, what the fuck is going on? What is going on? And it really just kind of like sends chills up your spine, because of the fact that you're just waiting for the answer to be put out in front of you, but instead you get no answer, and you're just waiting, and you're just waiting, and you're just waiting. And of course, after time, you know, mysteries are unraveled and all of that kind of stuff. But the thing for me for number 3, you know, all of these Warframe unsolved mysteries, or, you know, you can't really say they're unsolved, now they're solved, but, you know, at the moment they were unsolved mysteries, is it really, like, made you think heavier about the lore. And I think that all of these are great moments that could have been even greater. And that's the thing that kind of really frustrates me about them, because, I mean, think about it. At the end of the Chains of Harrow quest, right? We get that one moment, and it recurs every now and then, and we see them in different spots on our ship. That's fantastic. And you know what? Maybe it should have been like that for a month, maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months. But I think after like maybe the next big update, you know, the big update to follow, they could have switched it up just a little bit. What if this time around, maybe your operator starts acting real weird in missions? Maybe he gets a couple different voice lines. Maybe it all depends on what morality scale you're on. Maybe if you like drank the Kuva, you know, from the War Within quest, maybe all of a sudden your operator starts speaking weirdly and like really filtered and odd whenever they make certain like aggressive commands, right? Or maybe if you didn't drink the Kuva, maybe all of a sudden you see a little operator sitting on top of a defense point saying, "Can't get rid of me that easily." Like, all of these little things that Warframe could have leaned into for that and really let the mystery continue and deepen. You know what I mean? What if all of a sudden, one day, like, you're on your ship and maybe you chose to control the Kuva, right? You just start hearing different music playing in the background. Maybe you start hearing different voices, and maybe something whispered, "You thought you could control me." Right? Like something to really just lean into all of that crazy Warframe mystery, and don't give us any answers on it. Just let it keep going, let it keep evolving, let it keep changing. The man in the wall is still on our ship, but he's still doing the same thing that he was 3 months ago. You can fix that with a couple voice lines, right? And then of course the Helminth cyst. That was one of my favorite mind fucks ever. It really was. It was like, what is going on? And the fact that it was spreading throughout the Warframe community, and you're like, I don't understand what's going on, but it's on everyone. And that for that first week, we're like, what is happening to us, right? And only 7 days later did we find out that we could use that cyst to go ahead and create our Helminth chargers, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. I thought that was super duper cute. But the thing about it is, we have Helminth on our ship. Like, why is there no further mystery that kind of leans into that? What if one day maybe we're like sitting in our ship and we see that the infestation's grown just a little bit? What if we have random voice lines for Ordis? Please, dear God, give Ordis some more voice lines. He needs the help. He needs the work. That Ordis voice actor needs a little, cut him a good paycheck, right? Maybe just something like, maybe you don't even need to put more graphics in the ship. Maybe you could just say, Ordis has been noticing a large growth in your whatever fucking room that is. And just being like, cleanup has been, administered, something like that, just for him to kind of acknowledge that there's something going on with the Helminth. But unfortunately, DE hasn't leaned into that either. But if they do lean into that, maybe one day, all of a sudden, even without the use of Nidus, or even without the use of somebody with a full cyst, maybe the doors just open. Maybe the doors just open and you walk into you walk into that area and you notice that some of the infestation has maybe bloomed into really pretty flowers, right? Or maybe you look down at the ground where all of those fish are and you notice some cracks in the floor, like the fish have been trying to get out. Like, DE really needs to lean into these moments that they've created, these amazing moments of, like, just community, like, what, did you see the crack? There's a crack on the floor. Did you notice the crack on the floor in the ship in your room? Did you notice there were flowers in bloom? I just made a rhyme. That's how dope this would be if DE leaned into more mysterious happenings. And they don't necessarily need to do anything major, maybe it just goes on for a while. Maybe, just 3 months. The door opens, you see things in bloom, you see cracks on the floor, and nothing happens for 3 months. And everybody's just like, what is this? And maybe then 3 months later, something else happens. It doesn't need to be any major changes, but these little things kind of escalate into this big, almost like a community lore that we create for ourselves. And being at the forefront of these moments when they first happen, like, it really gets everybody excited and gets everybody super engaged with what's going on, and then everybody starts talking. And let's be real, right now we have so many people making content drought videos, but guess what? It's because we have nothing else to talk about. Maybe just switching up what's going on the inside of the room and having all of these people make speculation videos on it. Maybe it's a cool solution. Well, it's not like a solution. It doesn't solve the fact that, what's happening is happening, but it's something else to talk about, right? And it's something that's kind of underlying and very subtle. And I like it. And just kind of like the script. I mean, maybe even the script in and of itself, like, you can kind of glean what they're trying to say via the mysterious loading screen script. But what if that loading screen started happening when you transferred into your Warframe? Like, maybe you transfer out of your Warframe and you transfer in, and you get this weird loading, like this weird script that kind of comes up as you load into your Warframe, right? Lean into all of these mysteries, because these mysteries really make the game feel more lush. It really brings them to life. And I'll be honest, like, the panic that ensued, the chills that went up people's spines when they had this weird, like, doppelganger hanging out on their little market. Because I'm gonna be real with you, the thing that fucked me up the most was when I did my, War Within reaction video, or whatever it was. I quickly, like, glanced over to the left but didn't really notice too much. All you saw in my video was a knee. And everybody in the comment section was like, he was there! All you had to do was look to your right! He was there, you missed it! And I was like, what are you talking about? And it wasn't until, like, Mogamu alerted me. He was like, watch my video. Watch the very end of my video. And I watched it, and he was like, just don't look into his eyes. And I was like, what do you mean? Don't look into his eyes. And then all of a sudden it just kind of like popped off from there. So that is my number 3 moment. My 3 moments. But I think those were great moments in Warframe history. And it's something that I really wish DE would lean into a little bit more, because it makes the game more exciting in a very different way. It changes things up a bit, and adds a little more spice to our daily life when weird shit just breaks out all of a sudden, right? So let me know how you feel about these events, or this collection of events, down in the comment section below. Let me know how they left you feeling, especially the cyst one. The cyst one has got to be a thing. Or maybe if you're newer and you had no clue what happened, what was going on with the mysterious loading screen, toss that down in the comments below as well. So, as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch yo body. I'll see you guys next time. And don't forget, check out youtube.com/RobOffline. Contacts, we love them. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.